Hello everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot. I was absent yesterday, Friday. I felt the need to fast and meditate, which I do sometimes, and I felt it very profoundly, the urge over this 11/11 time frame. Very important energies, very somber mood on the planet, a time I think we all need to find peace in our hearts and hope for peace in the world. Of course, originally was to commemorate the Great War, the war to end all wars, did not end all wars. There are some very unfortunate hot spots around on the planet right now. So that's where I was, that's what I'm doing, was doing. I have emerged. We're back with the royals and we have the Apprentice Tarot on the tarot table. I'm going to have a very quick look at the news that came through yesterday. The news that Harry's case against ANL, Associated Newspapers, is being allowed to go ahead to full trial in the coming year. I'm not sure when exactly next year, but it's been allowed to go to trial. And this is the case, the unlawful information gathering case. And Harry, of course, is not the only plaintiff in this one. They took some plaintiffs and they heard their evidence. The plaintiffs being Elton John, David Furnish, Elizabeth Hurley, Sadie Frost, and Doreen Lawrence. Those were allowed to present evidence to the court. Harry famously didn't have much evidence to present. He seemed to think that if he believed the thing, that they had hacked his phone and whatever and made Chelsea break up with him, if he believed that, then of course the newspapers had to provide the evidence to back up his claim. Rather an interesting take on the burden of proof in a court case. But anyway, so he was ridiculed at the time, but it's being allowed to go ahead. Being allowed to go ahead with some problems for the plaintiffs being, first of all, that they cannot rely on the evidence that was presented to the Levinson inquiry without going through various procedures to get access to that evidence. Then they still have the issue of time, that the case is way out of time. These are very, very old claims going back 15 years or so. So that issue hasn't been resolved. That will be heard at the full trial. And then, of course, there's another issue, and that's one of the main witnesses for the plaintiffs might have done some naughty things and falsified evidence and things like that. So it's not a done deal, even despite the crowing around and about on social media. He hasn't won the case. He's simply being allowed to have a full trial. So that's where we are. I'm going to have a quick look at this, see how he's feeling, how his mood is. Was this a boost for him? Is he confident about this now going forward? Something good happening for him at last. He's been looking very woebegone recently. I'm going to ask, what about these issues, the evidence issues, the witness, the time, statute of limitations, that kind of stuff. I'm also going to ask if this is costing him an arm and a leg. What's the money situation with this court case? Is he having to shell out tons of money, or is that fine? Because I don't think there is that much money to shell out at this point, although he seems to have very wealthy friends, as we saw from the Katy Perry concert. Extremely wealthy friends, new friends, in very vulgar shirts. But anyway, we're going to look at that a bit later. We're just looking at the court case now, our outcome. How's it going to go from his point of view? We'll be looking at it. I'm sure there he's popped out, the hermit. I'm sure we'll be looking at it lots more in the coming months, assuming that I'm here and you're here and they're all still there. And the world is still in one piece. Who knows at this point? Let's remind you, it's tarot for fun and entertainment, a distraction from the real world at this point. It's all my opinion, it's all speculation. There is, of course, just energy that I read. And archetypal energy, we're dealing with archetypes here because we're dealing with the archetypal royal family. And disclaimer in the box below, especially as we're dealing with legal matters today. So let's see what's going on. Ooh, we got the Ten of Pentacles. Ka-ching! Big payday. Someone thinks that there's a big payday coming for them. And the costs would be incredible. Many millions for the Daily Mail. Associated Newspapers, of course, owns the Daily Mail. and the Mail on Sunday. So it's a case against them, really. It's a big payday, lots of money at stake for Daily Mail. I'm sure that they're making money hand over fist with all their clickbait titles, with the royals, in particular with Harry and Meghan. But costly for the Daily Mail. It would be a very heavy loss. And Harry does seem to really have it in for the press. He's buying up newspapers in a consortium in the US. There's also speculation he's trying to buy the Telegraph in the UK with the very wealthy friend. So lots of money at stake here. He obviously thinks there's a big payday coming. So let's see what's going on in this situation now that we've had this decision. Five of Swords, conflict ongoing. Interesting, it says fighting without scruples, hollow victory. It is the hollow victory card, the Five of Swords. You win, but you lose. And my working title for these readings I'm doing today is Win Some, Lose Some. For both the readings. And there it is, the Five of Swords is the win some, lose some cards. You fight dirty, you're determined to win at all costs, and you end up alienating everyone. And even though you can put it in your pocket as a victory, it's actually a loss in terms of popularity, public opinion, things like that. So that's interesting. Tell us his mood right now. How's he feeling right now? Is this a shot in the arm for him? Yeah, victory, triumph, celebration, celebrate the achievement. It says solid foundation has been laid, can be built upon. So he believes that he's in the right. He believes that victory is his, and this is a solid start to something that's going to go forward and undoubtedly be successful. Some of the other claimants in this case might actually have cases, might have presented better evidence. I didn't really follow it. I only followed Has-Been's appearance in court, which was pretty lame. But of course, some of them might have had things that really were bad happen to them that might have justified taking this matter forward. But this has been a boost for him. Certainly he's very pleased. There's been some celebrating, you can be sure of that with that card. What about the problems that I've pointed out and that many people are pointing out? The evidence, the witness, the statute of limitations, all of those things. Will those be a problem from his point of view? Page of Cups in reverse, yes, could be. It could be disappointing somewhere along the line for him. The Page of Cups upright is a sort of pleasing, a pleasant energy of emotional contentment, communicating, pleasure, fondness, attraction to people. But in reverse, it can be disappointing. It can be that kind of quite naive optimism being dampened somewhat. So I think somewhere along the line, he is going to get some bad news. It's not devastating news, but I think there are going to be some hitches, some stumbling blocks along the way, and he might be disappointed in someone in particular, somebody who might have promised him something, because the Page of Cups is really an offering, a promise, that they might have to even apologize to him. He might feel let down by somebody in particular. It's a junior person, so it could be one of the witnesses, for instance. Somebody who's led him to believe a certain thing that it then turns out wasn't true. That's what I'm getting from that card, and of course, all just my opinion. Tell us about money now, the cost of running these court cases. Is it beginning to be a problem, or is this is he being bankrolled, or is this not a problem for him? What's the story with money? Wow. Pain, distress caused by mental anguish, hurtful words, betrayal, cruelty, injustice. Something here is very painful and upsetting for him. Usually the Three of Swords is a betrayal, is a dagger through the heart. It's not at all a money card for me. So it's showing up as if he has been betrayed by somebody he trusted. And that's the same energy as that Page of Cups in reverse, that he thought this would all go swimmingly, and it's not really. Even though it is now going to trial, he maybe thought it would all be over and he'd get his 10 of Pentacles. And so far nothing, but lots of pain and anguish. Always the Three of Swords. I think that this process has been a lot more harrowing than he expected it to be. And that is the energy that I picked up all those months ago when I was reading on his court appearance. There were quite a few cases ongoing at the same time. He was popping up all over the place in courtrooms in London and the Royal Courts of Justice. But it looked like it was a much more harrowing experience for him than he expected it to be. So he's going through it. He really is with the Three of Swords. I think he's feeling let down, disappointed, even betrayed, very hurt by what has been happening, not going the way he expected it to go. And that Three of Swords is sitting under the Five of Swords, the card of hollow victories. So this really, even though right now he's had his shot in the arm, he's got some disappointments ahead of him with that Page of Cups in reverse. And I'm not seeing that it's bankrupting him, and I wouldn't expect it would. But at some level, he's feeling like he's been let down. He is very naive, wet behind the ears, really had no worldly experience, a sitting duck for anyone to take advantage of, in my opinion. And I think he is beginning to wake up to the fact that possibly, just possibly, he has been taken advantage of, and that is my interpretation of the energy of this card. So, or these cards, how's it going to go from his point of view next year when the case actually goes to trial? How's it going to go for him? Eight of Wands. It looks like it's going to be a positive outcome for him. Eight of Wands is generally a positive outcome. It's unblocking something. There's going to be it's going to be new, headline grabbing, quite sensational, I should imagine, with whatever headlines we get with that Eight of Wands. A situation that has been festering for a long time is finally unblocked. He's finally allowed to have his proper day in court and say what he really wants to say. So as far as he's concerned, it's going to be very positive. After all this time of frustration and hanging around and waiting and preliminary issues being heard and all of this kind of stuff that's been going on, finally, forward movement, action, and positive action because it's upright. So it looks like they might actually win this case. Let's just ask you to clarify, they're going to win. He might not, of course, win his little bit, but I should imagine somewhere along the line there will be a victory. I've seen win some, lose some energy before. Let's have a look. Generally, altogether, are the plaintiffs going to win this case against the Daily Mail? It's a low burden of proof, a standard of proof, really, in a case like this, civil case. So it's just what's more likely. Ooh, that's not a winning card. Six of Cups in reverse, not at all. Try not to gloat here. Six of Cups. I'm trying to be on best behavior because it's the 11th, it's Remembrance Day and all of that. But the Six of Cups is revisiting the past, memories, reconciling with people, reuniting with people from the past, all of that kind of thing, shared stuff. But in the reverse, unpleasant memories, it's going to dig up old wounds, and they may not win with the Six of Cups in reverse. So from his point of view, Eight of Wands, finally, years of waiting for this. I think they first started talking about it in 2018, so it will be 6 years later. That's a long wait to get your day in court, your proper day in court. So that's what that Eight of Wands is about. This one, I think it was 2018, might have been 2019. I think there's been some confusion in the press, wrong dates reported, but who cares? We're looking at now at the outcome next year. assuming there is an outcome next year. And we've got unpleasant memories, revisit the past to heal, clinging to the past, falling out with people from the past, that kind of energy. It looks like it's going to bring up very sad memories for him. Chelsea again. Things he doesn't want to think about, but things, all of them, difficult memories for all of them. They go to court, they're going to have to go back 10, 15 years into their past to quite different time of their lives and have to revisit them. So it's going to be painful, particularly for someone like Baroness Lawrence. Very, very painful memories for her. Lots of hurtful things apparently happened, and she felt very betrayed by the Daily Mail, who had supported her in her quest for justice, and then found out nasty things were going on behind the scenes, allegedly. So it's going to be painful for people. We've already got the 3 of Swords for Harry, 5 of Swords. We've got the Page of Cups in reverse. So even though he's in 4 of Wands energy, and he will be in 8 of Wands energy next year, there is this 10 of Pentacles sitting underneath everything. Big payday, promise of a big payday. It does not look as if it's going to go that well for the claimants. That's my opinion. That's the reading. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one.